Hello and welcome to True Audio Files. Today we are going to talk about Beastie Boys' Check Your Head. Biggest reason why I have decided to do a sound quality shootout on this is because there's basically been two reissues over the past month or two, and the biggest thing that kind of caught my eye was that they were actually cut by different people. So it was kind of a surprise to me to see that. So I figured, because I'll actually get into that in a little bit later, but let me show you the ones that I want to do a sound quality shootout of. And I'll also, at the end, near the end of the video, I'll also talk to you a little bit about this as a little bit of a piece of advice for you on that. So we'll catch up on that near the end of the video. So here are the versions of the Check Your Head that I did a sound quality shootout on. I unfortunately don't have an original pressing, so I had to go with these three reissues. So first one I have here is, I know this is from the 2000s. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was cut by Ray Janos. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, at Sterling. Not sure the lineage of it, whether it's cut from digital or cut straight from analog. I'm just not 100% sure. But that was the first copy I did. Then, as previously mentioned, I have this Vinyl Me Please version. This one was cut by Ryan K. Smith at Sterling. And the hype sticker says that it was cut from the analog tapes. I will take their word for it at that. But so there is that one there. I do like the packaging on this. The silver is a nice touch. But anyways, then the last one that I did a sound quality shootout with is the 30th anniversary edition, which is basically, I think it's a 4 LP set. Yeah, 4 LP set. And this was actually cut by Chris Bellman, so at Bernie Grundman Studios. So different cuts, all pretty respectable mastering engineers that did the cuttings of these. So it was pretty interesting that I saw that, and that's part of the reason why I decided to do this shootout, because I thought, all done by respected people, and so we'll see how it turns out and see what my thoughts are. Typically how I do these is I kind of listen to the whole album all the way through and kind of pick and choose the songs I want. I did it a little bit differently this time, but I don't think it's going to affect it too much. This time I kind of listened to the first record, so all the way through, sides A and B, and decided on, and then I actually did listen to a couple of the versions all the way through on side B, but I ended up listening to Lighten Up, which was the last track on side 1. I felt that probably had the best use of space and imaging of any of the songs I'd heard on the album. It was all, I think, acoustic instruments too and vocals, so I thought that was a really good track to go by. First impressions were all of them seemed to have a very similar EQ to them. The Vinyl Me Please one may have had a slight bit more treble, but if it wasn't by much. I personally like a little bit more treble in my recordings, but there was definitely no lack of treble by any stretch. So for those of you who always think a lot of these things are too bright, this one, all of these you'll be happy with on that. They all had really good bass, even really deep bass, which was awesome. And overall, they all sounded really good. I would say of all of them, though, one of the things that really stuck out to me, I should say, were, the things I really paid most attention to past the EQ, which, like I said, they all sounded pretty similar, and dynamics seemed a little bit similar, although, I could also say, actually, the Vinyl Me Please sounds like they cut it a little bit hotter. It's possible there was a little bit of more compression used, but I'm not sure that's the case. I think it's just more the fact that they cut it louder. So anyways, beyond that, the thing that stuck out the most is there was one particular one that really stuck out in terms of just giving me that sense of space and the 3D sound stage to it. They all had a good imaging and were able to separate in terms of the imaging. but it just seemed like, again, that 3D spaciousness to it was the big differentiator on all of them. And I would say the two of them were very, very similar, very, very close. So without further ado, I would say the original early 2000s one, the Ray Janos Sterling cut and the Ryan K. Smith Sterling cut were very, very, really close in terms of their sound quality. They both sounded very good. I probably might give a slight edge to the Ryan K. Smith one in terms of overall sound quality. It definitely, like I said, it was cut hotter, which I tend to like, but also it may have been a little bit more spacious in the 3D elements to it. Not a lot, though. I did an A/B back and forth quite a bit, and there really wasn't a huge difference. But when I put on the Chris Bellman cut, it was definitely a noticeable difference in the 3D spaciousness. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it was huge, and I think it's probably going to be probably most notable on the acoustic ones. And what I mean by acoustic, I mean ones where they use live instruments and things on that nature, because obviously there's a lot of sampling and there's a lot of record scratching and things like that. And that on those tracks, it's probably not as evident. But one of the other things, and I can't remember which track it was now, but there was one track, it may have been Something's Got to Give or Time for Living. I can't remember. It may have been Something's Got to Give. There was kind of almost like a swirling, not swirling, but I think it was the hi-hat or one of the cymbals kind of sounded like it was almost trying to go around you. Had a really cool effect to it that was definitely more noticeable on the Chris Bellman cut, but still evident and noticeable on all three of them. So that's kind of my take. I really think that you'd be happy with any of the ones that are here, because they all sound pretty good. Although, like I said, my preference would be a little bit more treble, but that's just me. They're definitely more mid-range and bass focused, and they do a great job on both of those things. And all three of them still have a great sound. They all three sound like they're pressed pretty well, although I don't know, I think the Vinyl Me Please one may have had a little tiny bit more noise than the other two. I think the 2000s era one was pressed at RTI. Not sure where. Well, the Super Deluxe version or the Deluxe version was made in Italy. I don't know of a pressing plant in Italy, but maybe those of you who are watching that know could fill me in on that. And I'm pretty sure that the Vinyl Me Please one was done at GZ Vinyl. It doesn't say specifically where it was cut, but if I had to venture a guess, because it said it was made in the EU, if I had to venture a guess, it was probably GZ Vinyl, because that's where they do a lot of their pressings, especially colored vinyl pressings, if they're pressed in the EU. So it wasn't terrible, but like I said, I think it may have had just a slight bit more noise than the other two, but just barely. But that's my take. I would love to hear what you have to say on that. Do you have any of these copies, and what one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments section below. So now I just want to talk a little, very, very briefly about this because it's a really expensive box set. I was fortunate enough to pre-order it, and Amazon had ran a sale for a few days or a week to drop it down about 40%, so I got an amazing deal on it. So, but bottom line on it, I just want to kind of give you a little bit of tip. I haven't been able to go through the whole thing yet. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you want me to do a video on it, comparing it to the sound to the other ones, and maybe giving an unboxing of it. I'll be more than happy to do that for you if you'd like. But my take is, don't buy the single disc reissue on it, on CD anyway. They have compressed and limited the hell out of it, and there's no dynamics at all, and it's really obvious and just really sounds muddy and distorted and just not good. I'm going to be very curious. I ordered the special edition blue colored vinyl 3-record set from the online store, but as is the case most of the time with the online stores for the artists, which I hate, I've said in the past, it hasn't even shipped yet. They've put a label on it, but it hasn't shipped out yet. But I'm hoping that that's going to be better, and maybe they used a different mastering of Creatures of the Night for the record, because I listened to the Blu-ray copy and the CD version. The Blu-ray was a 2496, and then the CD obviously 1644. They're both the same mastering, and just really just chopped, they destroyed. Just really didn't sound good. But so far, I'm really liking the extras on the CDs, and some of the trinkets and things like that in there are pretty cool too. But again, if you want me to go over that more in detail, let me know in the comments section below, and I'll be more than happy to go over that if you want me to. So that's everything I have for today. It's been a little while since I've talked to you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to make some more videos to catch up a little bit. I know I'm going to be doing at least one more next week. I know of one topic anyways, I should say, I'm going to be doing next week, because Black Friday RSD, so Record Store Day. I hope you guys are getting ready for it. I'd love to hear what you guys are looking for as well there. But that is everything I have for today. I'm waiting for this too on vinyl, the One Step, but I do have the Super Audio CD, and so far I've only listened to it in my car, but it sounds good. So that's it. Thank you very much, everyone. You have yourself a great day.